Mm. Ooh. What's up, good people? It's time. Oh, snap. Hold on, cuz. It's time for another session of that verbal cardio, man. We back. We back yet again. It's another glorious Tuesday. It's probably going to be Wednesday by the time you hear this. I don't know what day it's going to be by the time you hear this because you might take your sweet ass time getting around to this episode. It could be Thursday, it could be Friday, could be Saturday, Sunday, could be the following Tuesday. I don't know. But I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you pulled up in whatever manner that may be. We back. And we blessed already. We blessed off the top. If you here listening to me right now, that means you got the blessings coming. That means you woke up today. That's blessing one. You woke up. Some people ain't wake up this morning. Some people woke up face down dead. I don't know why they was face down when they woke up. And they didn't technically wake up because they was dead, but they didn't wake up when they was face down. Then somebody found them. You know what I'm saying? So that could happen. But since you woke up, turned over, looked at your phone, pulled out your laptop, did what you had to do, that's the blessing off the top. Even if you got some raggedy, musty emails as soon as you woke up, it's still a blessing to have the raggedy, musty emails that you're reading. And it's a blessing that you can read. It's a blessing that you can read the emails that you don't even want to see. That's a blessing in itself right there. The fact that you can read an email and be like, ugh, y'all getting on my nerves. The fact that you read something that got on your nerves, that's a blessing within the nerve get on because you can read. You can't escape these blessings. You can't escape the blessings, man. They out here. Even in the midst of a bad day, a bad moment, a bad circumstance, it's some blessings wrapped around that. And y'all be like, Tone, man, that ain't true, man. Stuff be trash, man. How can it be a blessing? It's a blessing attached. You can find it. They be easy to find. Blessings be hiding in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? You know, where's Waldo? Blessings be right there. You look at the picture of your chaos, the bullshit that's stressing you out. You looking at that canvas, you like, man, I'm sick of this. And it'd be a blessing standing right there looking like Waldo, got the glasses on and the striped shirt. So just look for those blessings and then just be like, all right, I see that blessing right there. To get real with y'all, like when we lost Serene, we lost my son, devastated. It's the worst thing that ever happened to us. But the blessing was he was gone fast. There was no lingering pain. There was no lingering suffering. We didn't have to come to a decision to pull the plug. You know, what if he survived and suffered long term and was just like, man, get me out of here. So it was like, if he's going to have to go, the blessing within that tragedy is that it was fast. They say it was instant. So it was like, well, he probably didn't even know what hit him. I'm like, oh, well, that's the blessing right there. You know what I'm saying? Even though we spent, heart kicked down the street, thrown in the recycle bin, and then dumped off but the blessing within that was that. So the blessings is out here, man. I'm sorry to take it there on y'all, but you know what I'm saying? That was just an example of, even in the midst of pure emotional trauma, there was a blessing in there. So, you know what I'm saying? Tally up them blessings. Tally them up. That's what I want y'all to do this week. Tally up them blessings, shout it. What else? I want to give a shout out to my patron saints in here, man. The real ones. They out here, you know what I'm saying? IG Live, man. I want y'all to take notes and look at the shout outs they getting over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Nakia, Tony Ant, Cutie B, Zakia, 2 Jesse. I like to say Jelsey. I like to put, I'm silly. I like to put L's in words that don't have L's in them. And that makes me laugh almost every time. It's so silly and so dumb. It makes 0 sense, but I be doing it and I can't stop. Because it brings me joy, man. It's silly. I don't want y'all to lose your silliness, man. If y'all out here all serious, face tight, lips chapped, hands clasped with seriousness, I want y'all to tap into your silly, man. I want to know what's the silliest thing that you do that makes you laugh every time. I'm talking about bare minimum silly that you do. Don't say, oh, I watch comedy, I watch this. No, what do you do that's silly that brings you joy? For me, it's putting L's in words that don't have them. Billsness, Bilskits, Jelsey. It's dumb, but I enjoy it. Anyway, back to the shout out. Randomly CJ, Misha Cake, Bundy McBuckets. First of all, I like that name. Bundy McBuckets. I like it. Latoya Larkin, Crunchy Apple, Lana, Stonyface Entertainment, Kristen R, Kobe McGuire, Megan Baca, Cocoa Puff, Miranda Cummings, TC. I went to Cracker Barrel with TC in North Carolina. Trey Porter, Soul Q Original, SF 49 Girl, Overdrive Pixie, Styler, Terrence C, Damon K, Candid Cammy, Savants X, Ryan. I'm giving shout outs to my patron saints. Tamara Tips, New York Calm, Jay Thomas, Camila Williams. New York Calm, I want to give a shout out to New York Calm. It's New York Calm on Instagram. New York Calm. Y'all know, if y'all been following me for a while, you know that I wear these sweatsuits when I travel now. New York Calm is the one that provided those sweatsuits for me. I got a blue, I got a red, I got a black, I got a gray. I need more New York Calm. I need more colors. I know you say you coming with the camo. I need all the colors, man. Because those tracksuits are so comfortable. Because when I travel, I like to have a little jacket of some sort, a hood, comfortable pants that don't have a belt situation going, so I can just move through all the full cavity searches at TSA. Everything smooth. I feel tucked in, nestled. I like the hood to just make me feel, tucked in. I need more colors, man. Let's get them colors going. The camo is cool, but I need more. I need more, man. I'm hooked. I want to have a closet full of them sweatsuits. Tracksuits, if you want to call them that. Tracksuits. We'll say track. Even though I ain't looked at a track, man. Sweatsuits, because I'll be sweating still. G-Man. Pierre Durant. So people in the IG Live, I want y'all to join my Patreon, man. Stop bullshitting with me. Stop sitting in here on the free. Y'all freeloading. Stop sitting up in here on the free. I want y'all to fully tap in, man. Get in on these live podcasts. Get in on the benefits you could be receiving with the movie nights you be missing out on. The movie nights. We be talking and building. Man. Get in on it. I want 10 new members today. Don't be sitting in here on the free. I see y'all sitting in here on the free, looking with your looking ass. You know what I'm saying? Make the commitment, man. Make the commitment. Stop treating me like a side piece. Respect me, man. Take me out. Take me out on a date. And that date is joining my Patreon. Take me out on a date. If I provided you with entertainment pumps, I want you to take the next step, man. Stop treating me just like a smash and dash. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, on the free. I don't want to spend time. Hey, man. And I ain't got enough new members right now, man. I need more. Click the link in my bio. Click that Patreon tab and join up. And if you in here with the strong no, then get your ass up out the live, man. Trying to stand firm and make a stance. No. Get your ass out of here, man. Be gone. Be gone. I give ideas, that's enough. Man, take your ideas elsewhere. I've never even seen your ideas. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to commit. Freeloading. All this freeloading up in here, man. Look out. So here's my question. Here's the question that's just for the ladies, and I want y'all to answer honestly. IG Live, I'm cutting this live off. Because y'all need to make the commitment. If you want to know what the question is, you can find out tomorrow. Or if you join the Patreon right now, you can find out right now and not miss a beat. If you want to join the Patreon, click the link in my bio. Click that Patreon tab. Set your monthly price. and then join up. If not, I'll see y'all whenever I go live again. But so the question is for the ladies. Ladies, ladies, be honest. I want an accurate count. I don't want no extra flim-flammery, blah, blah, blah on the side. I don't want no, you don't know what it's like to be a woman. We just got to have, I don't want to hear none of that. I just want numbers. Okay? I want y'all to go to your restroom, go to your bathroom. I want you to count how many items are in your shower right now. Don't give me no extra riffraff, no blah, 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 no rigmarole. Go in there and count how many items is in your tub right now. Don't be fudging the numbers. Don't be skimming off the top. How many items? How y'all answering this quick? All right. So Crunchy Apple got 15. Candy Cammy says 4, 2, 4. I'm at work, but I can tell you 4. Hold please. 4, 9. Just 1 at the moment. 7, 3. Appreciate you, Honeybee. Cafe Olay has 19 items in there. Cambleek Davis, 5, 3. Hold on. Let me go back up. 5, 3, 9,000. 10, 12, 6, 5. At least 15. 6, 8. 7, 7. Including Barbies. What's a Barbie? Are you in my business? 5, 10. Yes, define items. So here's the thing. All items that are in that shower, all items. I want you to count the washcloths, the scrunchies, the soaps, the conditioner, the shampoo, the body wash, every item in that shower. I want it counted. 13. I'm speaking for Panda. 12, 7, 10, 11, 8, 16, 15, 14. Jesus with the 19. 16, probably 23 now. 45, because I live with a woman and a little girl. 5 then. Okay, well, 3, still 5, 15, 5, 9, 12, 21. Still 6. 7, I think I used 7 items. 11. Miranda says, I'm ashamed. 13 items. Up to 10 from 7 then. 11 including washcloths for the family. 17, 3 in the shower. Lord only knows on my sink. Don't judge. 10. If you just walked in here, I was asking the women how many items are in their shower right now. And that's every item. Up to 9 now. I got kids' toys. 15. No items in the shower. I clean a lot, so I keep it bare. Okay. I asked that because one of the things about me being single is that there's no clutter in my shower. No clutter. I have a washcloth, a scrunchie, the 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash situation. And I have another body wash in there that I like, that I started using. So I got like 4 items in there. So there's no clutter. There's no clutter. It's just, you know what I mean? And so I was wondering, I was just like, I wonder how many items. Because women be having items. That I'm not even gonna get into the sink situation. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm just like, let's just look at the shower. Let's just look at the shower. So I was just curious as to how many items y'all had up in there. So that was the big question. It ain't nothing major, but I was just curious to know, like, how many items y'all got up in that goddamn shower? The walk-in. You can tell me all the stuff that's on the sink and the shelf, man. So let me check in with y'all real quick. Also, before I do that, let me pay these bills, man. Let me pay these bills. So sports is a big thing, and it's also fun. It's also fun to be like, you know, try to predict who's gonna win, who's gonna do what, in whatever sport that you're into, and you know, why not make some money from that if you can? Why not make some money from picking a team that you think is gonna win? Why not? Why not make some money on that, man? Especially if you into it and you know what you're talking about and you feel good about your little predictions. Prize Picks, man. Prize Picks is the one for you. All right. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. All right. So I'm a Bears fan. So let's say, you know, Caleb Williams passing yards gets you 1 win on Prize Pick every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in most states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. You want to play Prize Picks alongside Drewski, Joe Budden, or MMA champ Sugar Sean O'Malley? You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks, your picks are still alive. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So that's quick, easy money. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of those picks doesn't hit. I like Prize Picks because, you know, when I did it last football season, you know, I was just picking, you know, a few players here and there, and it was dope because you get that money quick. It's all in the app, man. It's a good time. It's fun. I don't know about y'all, but it's just fun to, like, you know, put a little something on something and see what something's gonna do. And then when you get a little something back, you're like, man, I got a little something back, and it was fun, you know. And so I feel like it's a great way to just, you know, earn a little something, get a little something, have a little fun, get a little $20 in your pocket, $25 in your account. You go to the grocery store, get you some spinach, water, maybe some corn nuts with that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And it's fun. It's a good time. I'm doing fantasy football this season. So that should be fun. You know, I think I got Caleb Williams on my roster somewhere. I had to make it personal. You know what I mean? One example of, like, you know, projection lineup. Let's say Tyreek Hill for more than 90 receiving yards and Dak Prescott for more than 260 pass yards. That's something you can pick on. Josh Allen for less than 240 passing yards. CD Lamb for more than 96 receiving yards. And then you go from there. So download the Prize Picks app today and use the code VERBAL and get $50 instantly when you play $5. So $5 can get you 50. That's code VERBAL on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So you guaranteed $50 just by coming in and putting 5 on it, just from getting in on the app. So download Prize Picks app today and use the code VERBAL. Don't forget to use that code VERBAL. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, that's Prize Picks app under VERBAL. When you play that $5, it gives you the 50. Guaranteed. Get that bonus, y'all. Get that bonus of nothing else. You know what I mean? Prize Picks. Run your game, shouty. Run your game. I appreciate Prize Picks. And let me check in on what y'all wanted to talk about. Y'all got some this or that's in here. Zaynova asked me, am I excited to see Beetlejuice, the sequel? Yes. I'm looking forward to the Beetlejuice sequel. I'm a fan of the original. I'm a super fan of Michael Keaton. I'm a fan of Tim Burton. I feel like he hasn't been Tim Burton-y lately. So it'd be good to see a return to form for Tim Burton as far as like his visual style and like, because I get it, you know, directors need to get that money, man. They need to get that money. They need to make a living. And so sometimes they'll just, you know, put out some pieces that you get a little element of them, but overall it's like, I can tell somebody else did this and they just put you at the helm. Where like, you know, because a lot of earlier Tim Burton stuff, Beetlejuice is one of the most inventive movies that I can think of. Like, you know, big time movie. It made over $80 million at the box office in 1988. Or was it 89? It was one of those years. I think it was 88. And it was just a dope concept, man. This couple that had a tragic accident, they come back home not even knowing they're dead. And so they end up being the ghosts that are haunting the new family that's moving in. And so the little girl who's like, you know, clairvoyant and into all of that, Lydia, is just like, she can see them. And so you can see us, and then they find out that they're dead. And so they're trying to navigate their way of being dead. And they got the handbook, you know, that they look at. And Beetlejuice is this kind of wild card ghost entity thing that just wreaks havoc. And when you call his name 3 times, he can just come and pretty much, it seems like he can come kill a family if you let him. And so that whole concept was just, and he eats bugs, like, you know, he manifests in the little model that's upstairs in the attic, and you got the little sandworms that eat ghosts, and like it was just a dope ass visual experience that just felt super original. The visuals were dope, and so I feel like Beetlejuice is a character that we can keep returning to and watching to see what kind of exploits he gets into. And then they had the spinoff cartoon that was actually good to me. Like I enjoyed the Beetlejuice cartoon on Saturday mornings. The whole death waiting room and people in there waiting, and they come in how they died. You know what I'm saying? Some people with their throats cut, dude with the shrunken head. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what happened? Somebody, I remember a girl being cut in half. So it was just a torso sitting there, and then the legs was in the other chair. And so this type of stuff, I was like, yo, this is dope. And I feel like Beetlejuice holds up. Michael Keaton was fantastic. Catherine O'Hare, Winona Ryder, everybody just delivered. You know, we're not getting Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis back. I'm a little bummed about that. But we got Jenna Ortega in that thing. So I'm looking forward to it because I like her in Wednesday, which is a Tim Burton piece that feels like Tim Burton. So, and I enjoy Tim Burton stuff. So yes, to answer your question, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. How's the house buying process going? Keisha Lewis asks. It's going pretty smooth. You know, they starting to get into the nitpickiness, which I expected, but I was kind of dreading, but at the same time expected. So it's like they keep asking me about this tax amount, a past due tax amount that I paid. I paid all my taxes But I remember there was an issue with my taxes from either like 2022 or 2023. They tried to say that I didn't pay. And I was like, nah, I filed and I paid. I sent y'all the money. And they were like, and they didn't send me my money back. But I was just like, so I had to call the IRS, which took forever. It took multiple calls to do this a while ago. And so they cleared everything up, but going piece by piece through my tax return. And then so I'm not sure if that's what's showing up when the real estate people are looking at stuff. And I was just like, here are my bank transactions of me sending the money to the IRS. Like, I'm just like, what do y'all need? See, this was the part I was dreading. But I'm in escrow, you know what I'm saying? I put the offer in, they accepted the offer. So now we just in escrow, and I had the house inspected. So we sent that inspection report back. So we're just going through that process right there. And then I'm just learning some things about like home insurance costs, stuff like that. And so through all of this, I was telling my real estate lady that I just want, it's in LA County. I just want whatever's wrong with the house. I send it back, you know what I'm saying? I let the owners handle what they can handle before I get in there. Cause you got the option to, they can handle it, they can handle the repairs, or they can give me a credit when I come in. I was like, well, let's see if y'all can handle the repairs before I even step foot up in here. And then, anything else I need to take care of. I want everything taken care of before I step foot in this house. I don't want to move in and I still got to get this, that, and the third done and looked at. I'd rather do all of that before I even put a box in the house. So I was just telling my real estate lady, that's the goal for me. That's the plan. That's how I'm moving. Because I'm in no hurry to move. I'm actually dreading the move. And this is my first house ever. So it's like, but I also, I'm taking my time. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm going to just be like, yo, fix this, take a look at this, do this before I even get up in there. And so that's where we at now. And I was getting some emails today about the tax stuff. And I was just like, man, I sent y'all the bank. He was like, can you send a copy of the checks that you sent to the IRS? I was like, I didn't write the checks. I didn't write them checks. I did everything electronically. And so I'm just like, ha. But just those little things. But it's moving, though. It's moving. I'm trying to get it done. Trying to get it accomplished. I was approved for the loan from the bank. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we got the approval. Y'all see my bank account, man. Let's just get it. Just get me up in there, man. Just get me up in there and hush. Fix the shit. Let's get it, man. Don't make this stressful. Let's see what else. Also, Summer Squash, you came in with the deepness. Oh, so before we get into anything, I might save these for later. So I want to talk about the movie The Deliverance that I watched this weekend, that we watched together. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to the new patron saints: Evelyn Covington, Bianca Benson, Dana, D3912, Brittany Moore, Donald Hodge, Christian Olson, Lynn, and Savant's X. Savant's X, you've been here though, but I think you re-upped. So I want to say welcome and thank you. Thank you to all the new patron saints. But I want to talk about the movie The Deliverance. Oh, and shout out to Slim Tim too. He just joined. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil anything yet. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, so you don't have to you don't have to mute me just yet. But it's the story of a family in Pittsburgh that they move into a house and they start experiencing things that are not normal. And, they're hearing noises in the basement, flies, the kids are acting weird. the energy is nightmares and stuff like that going. It turns out that the house is indeed possessed by demons or whatever. And so the family is getting, possessions. So, kids are levitating, you know, they talking in weird voices. All the while, the lead character played by Andra Day is dealing with her own like demons as far as alcoholism, anger, abuse. She's living with her mom. Well, her mom was living with her. Her mom, was abusive, was, mean, had struggles of her own that made Andra Day who she was. And so, it always is generational. It always trickles down to the kids, and then that can trickle down into the next set of kids, and this, that, and the third. And the mom is played by Glenn Close. And which was wild to see Glenn Close in this type of role, because she's a white lady, but you can tell like she about that black hood life. You know what I mean? Like from the style, the way she be dressing, the way she be talking and hollering, and she like that black dilk, pretty much. It's by Lee Daniels. It's a Lee Daniels film. And so it's pretty much about how this family is going to cope with being possessed by demons. So it's a supernatural joint, but it's also rooted in like family trauma and like, how to deal with the demons that we carry within family. Not necessarily like straight out the Bible, demonic demons, but just like the demons of alcoholism and abuse and anger and like, violence that families deal with all the time. And so I found out that this was based on a true story about the Amons family in Gary, Indiana. And apparently her and her 3 children and her mom moved into this house, and it was haunted by 200 demons. And so the house was featured on Ghost Adventures hosted by Zach Baggins. I don't know if y'all watch him at all. Because after I watched this movie, I started digging into the real story of it. And I was just like, oh. So in the movie, they made it set in Pittsburgh, and they made the mom white, Glenn Close. But in reality, the woman that ended up getting possessed and her kids, her mom is black. And so they just changed that for, I guess, the story. So there wasn't that racial dynamic in the real life situation of what happened to the Amos family. But when they moved into the home, and I believe it was 2012, when they moved in, she was hearing strange noises from the basement. Like it sounded like somebody was walking up the steps, banging on the basement door. It was a lot of flies. It was like a lot of horse flies. And I was like, oh, them damn flies, man. Here's the thing about the flies. Fly buzzing annoys the shit out of me. It taps into every nerve fiber of my soul. When I hear zzz, the buzzing of flies drives me crazy. So whenever I get a fly in the house, I can't rest until I get that fly up out the house. So imagine moving into a house, you got big ass horse flies. Here's the crazy part. In the wintertime, March in Indiana is still mad cold. Spring ain't even kicked in yet. And y'all know the Midwest cold is brutal. What these flies doing here, this thick and this deep? And imagine, it's funny, man. Imagine if horse flies was like... Imagine if they had thick legs, big old muscular thighs, and manes. Imagine if horse flies just had like long manes and coming out the back of their head. Like, you see this, bitch? You see it? And then, how flies always be doing, like when they be landing on stuff, they do this. Imagine they do that, it's a horse fly, so they come in, zzz, and then they do this, and then they tie that little mane up. into like a little ponytail situation. They be like, where the shit at? And then they tying it up. I don't know why I thought about that when I thought about horseflies, because horseflies is big as hell, man. And so that part alone would have me like, we need to get the fuck up out of here, man. My story would end there. I'd be like, yeah, man, me and the kids, we moving to this house in Gary, Indiana, man. Them flies was showing up every night, man. I would get rid of them. The next night they was there, we moved the fuck out. Directed by Lee Daniels. It's been over. My story would have been 7 minutes. They would have showed us moving in, arguing. I'm sick of. Look, it ain't gonna be no bullshit with you staying with me, Mom. All right? And I ain't gonna take no lip from you kids. Zzz, zzz. Where these flies coming from? I don't know. All right, get the raid. Kill them. They gone. The next day, zzz. Didn't we just get the flies last night? Yeah, we raided them up. Well, we did, didn't we? Let's get the fuck up out of here, man. Call a U-Haul. We gone, shorty. We out of here. Directed by Lee Daniels, man. The movie's over for me. The flies alone. Forget. I wouldn't even got to the footsteps and the pounding of the basement door and the weird shit. It'd have been the flies. Like, why'd y'all move again? Flies. It was horse flies. They was ponytail, My Little Pony flies, sea biscuits. We was out. Where y'all at now? We at the homeless shelter. Because I couldn't afford a new place. We at the homeless shelter. Why you at the homeless shelter? You could have just stayed now. The flies kept coming back every night. I gave it 2 nights. It was 2 sets of flies. I was like, oh, this is what they do. I'm not going to deal with it. We at the homeless shelter. We in the bathroom. Put your foot on the bathroom door. Somebody come in here. We just going to be in here crying. But you had a whole home you can go to. Let me tell you something. You're not going to judge me and my family. Shut up, Mom. You the reason why we in this shit, and I'm so angry right now. I'm sick of it. Get the flies up out of here. Directed by Lee Daniels. So, anyway, I'm being ridiculous. So, in the real life incident, so Latoya Amos, that's the woman's name. They were hearing these noises. The basement door would just be open. Nobody opened it. It's just open. And then, it's just a black void down there. And I feel like the family was never really just going down there. They was just like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something about basements. I grew up in Chicago. Chicago, the Midwest in general is basementville. There's basements all over the place. It's citywide basement situation. It's a whole way of life. We used to stay in my aunt's basement for about a year. We stayed in my aunt's basement on 75th in Indiana. And then my dad had a basement. It was just I remember my mom was dating a guy. I remember this dude being real cool. I was a kid. My mom was dating a guy. I got drunk in his basement. I was a kid. He had a little bar down there, a little bar situation. He had bean bags, you know what I'm saying? Had the basement just playered out. You know what I mean? And I was messing around in his little liquor situation. And I was like, I was a kid. And so I just had a sip of stuff, maybe like a sip or a shot or whatever. And when you're a kid and you might drink something, you might have a sip of wine or just something like that. You overplay the drunkenness because drunk is, let me act silly before it even really kick in. You acting silly. So I'm down there. I'm down there drunk, but just being silly. We never saw that man again. And I think me and my brothers effectively, ran that man off. And I asked my mom, I was like, yo, Mom, did we run him off? She's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, that might have been a good fit for my mom. That might have been a good look. They could have been still together to this day, man. But I was down there cutting up. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah. And I didn't even mean it. Oh, sorry. I didn't even mean it as a form of sabotage. It was just, I was having a good time in the basement, man. I like this basement. Anyway, we not gonna judge me right here. We talking about Latoya Amos and her family in demonic possession haunted house. We're not talking about me. So, the basement, right? So it's all kind of just weird stuff going on. And one night, Latoya sees a silhouette of a man come out of her closet. She sees this. She sees a silhouette of a man come out of her closet, walks out of her bedroom, and she gets up. She sees this. She sees it go through her door. She gets up and follows it. She goes into the living room, and in the living room, that silhouette is just pacing back and forth in the living room. So she's watching it. She cuts the light on. That silhouette disappears when she cut the light on. So she's just like, but when she looks, she looks even further. She investigates. She sees boot prints on the living room floor. And they called it in the video I watched. I don't know why they said this, but they called it large money boot prints. But I was like, large money boot prints? Is large money a brand of boot? I was looking for large money boots. And so I Googled large money boots, and it was like, nothing came up. But I was thinking, large muddy boots. I'm tripping. I was walking fast. I was doing stuff. So she saw the boot prints on the floor, and something registered within that story, the retelling of the story. They were just like, these incidents had the family kind of like concerned and like what the hell is going on, but not really terrified or scared yet. Nick, what? You mean to tell me you hearing noises on the basement steps? You hearing the steps? You hearing the knocking on the basement door? And you see a silhouette of a man walk into the living room. And then when you cut the light on, that silhouette disappears and you see the muddy boot prints on the floor. You're not terrified? How? How? Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. I'm done. There's no coming back for me. The silhouette. I'll give you, because here's the thing, and here's the thing that they mentioned in the retelling of this story. They mentioned that the family, from a financial standpoint, they weren't in the space to just move. And I fully 100% understand that moving is expensive. If you don't have the support system, sometimes that place is all you got. I fully am aware and I understand that. Especially if you living in Gary, Indiana, it's already against all odds. If you're not familiar with Gary, Indiana, that's not really the city to live in because you love the city. That it's just where you have to be. This is all we can do right here, right now. So if you're already in Gary, I understand times is tough. Times is tough. As soon as you say, I live in Gary, Indiana, all I hear is, I live in times is tough, Indiana. Nothing more needs to be said. And no disrespect to Gary, Indiana, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Gary, Indiana is some tough living. No disrespect. Seeing a silhouette go in the living room and disappear with the muddy footprints in the living room as proof that something was there. The homeless shelter it is. We back at the shelter, y'all. If the flies didn't get me to the shelter, if my kids was like, no, mom, please, let's not move, man. It's just flies. It's just flies. I mean, we don't want to be at the homeless shelter. I'd be like, all right, kids, we gonna stay here. But these flies, man, but we need this. All right. You might be able to talk me off the ledge about the fly situation. Just for the kids. The kids would have had to talk me out of that. But that goddamn silhouette. Coming out my closet? Hell no. Hellno.org. Hell no. Hell no Incorporated. Hell no. I'm out. But no, they stayed. They can't just be moving. All right. So they stay there. And then one of the key moments in the bullshittery, she was hosting like a wake at her house. Now, when I heard that she was hosting a wake at the house, I know a wake is when you celebrate the dead. So I was wondering, I was like, well, did they have the body at the house, or did they have the wake at the place, and then they went and just celebrated at the house later on? I'm hoping this is the wake after party, and not just like, the wake where they put because I'm not sure how wakes go. Like, I know you can go to a place for the wake, but I know sometimes they be having the body at where the wake is held. Like, what I'm saying? Sometimes they might have, like, if it's a cop, they might have the cop's body at the bar, or, you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't really know how wakes do, but I'm like, did they have the body at the house? Either way. So they hosting the wake. And they upstairs, LaToya's up there with her daughter. Her daughter is the oldest of the three kids, right? So they up there talking or whatever, and it's LaToya, some other family members in there, and the daughter. The daughter starts levitating off the bed. And she's like, the daughter's like unconscious, but she's levitating off the bed. And so they in there screaming, screaming. She's screaming for her mom. The LaToya's screaming for her mom. They go up in there, and then the girl, goes back down to the bed, and then she snaps to him. It's like, what's going on? She didn't even know what was going on. And so that moment right there just kicked off the bullshittery. The kids are getting bruises. The kids are talking in like weird voices that aren't their own. Their eyes are bulging. It's all kind of stuff going on. They got unexplainable bruises on their body. The youngest son would be in the closet talking to a kid, and the kid would be like, yeah, I'm tired of being here, man. It's time to kill. And what? Yeah, it's time to kill. And I'm just like, hell no. So, they end up going to the doctor because the kids are acting crazy, and like, you know what I mean? And so, they're in the doctor's office, and the doctor has an uneasy feeling. Like, as soon as he walked in and saw the family, he just had an uneasy feeling. He's writing down notes, like, he's just writing in his notes, weird energy, lunatic, just writing down notes. Cause, from the outside looking in, you just like, oh, this family crazy. This family crazy. And so they're just trying to do all that they can to see what the hell's going on. So LaToya reaches out to two clairvoyants, and they say that your house is occupied by 200 entities. 200. Not just a couple, not just 5, 6, not just a little girl that died on the property years ago. 200. 200. In a little house in Gary, Indiana. Not no mansion, not no castle. 200. That's a lot. I've been like, 200, you say? Call up that homeless shelter. Kids, we going back to the homeless shelter. I'm telling y'all, we going back to the homeless shelter. I let y'all talk me out of it with the flies. And then you came back whining and crying about the silhouette man that y'all didn't see. But you was crying, talking about you didn't want to go to the homeless shelter. 200? We going to the homeless shelter, kids. Pack the shit up. But Mom, pack the shit up, man. Your sister levitated. Remember, your sister levitated off the bed. We just gonna forget that? You, baby boy, you got thrown out of a closet, and then you hit your sister. She hit her head on the headboard. We had to get stitches for her. Who threw you out that closet? That little boy you was talking about it's time to kill? And y'all still want to be up in there? What we doing? Call a homeless shelter. The homeless shelter gonna be a good ass time. I will deal with everybody at the homeless shelter, the gang, because at least I know what the hell they doing. They ain't gonna disappear. I don't care how crazy you are. I don't care how long you've been in the gang. I know you're not gonna disappear when I cut the goddamn lights on. Don't call a homeless shelter. Package shit. Get your little suitcase. You get your duffel bag. I know you got your bag ready because you levitated off. You need to levitate on up out of here. We're gonna follow you out. I'm out. I am out. Get us up out of here. So all of that is going on. And what I told you about the kid getting thrown out the closet and hitting the sister and she hit her head on the headboard, that happened. So now they find out about the 200, entities within the home. So she's just like, yo, and everything is getting worse and more intense. The kids are talking crazy. LaToya herself is getting like fevers out of nowhere. Just feeling uneasy. They was like, yo, so LaToya and her mom, her mom's name is Rosa, I think. They made them bleach the whole house, bleach it and ammonia it up. They was putting olive oil over everything. They was putting crosses on the kids' foreheads with olive oil. They just doing all kind of stuff. They doing burned sage and sulfur. They down there salting the walls and doing all kind of stuff in the basement because they can't move. They can't leave. So they just doing what they can up in here. And shit is just getting worse. And there was one incident where they had the kids at the hospital again. And at this time, the social workers came in, at this point, because they just like, yo, she's either neglecting these kids, giving them emotional abuse. There's something going on with these kids. So they, of course, when you see kids, they getting bruised, they getting all these stories. Of course, they're gonna be like, all right, we got to get social services in on this. So they go up in there, and so they got the kids at the hospital or whatever, and the baby boy looks at his older brother and was just like, it's time for you to die. The older brother then looks at his grandmother, gets in a running stance, and charges head first into her stomach. And he's doing this repeatedly. And it's like, what the hell going on? Then he walks to the wall while still holding his grandmother's hand and starts climbing the wall. And then he's on the ceiling, and then he backflips off the ceiling. There's a RN in the room also. The RN sees it. And so they like, yo, so they tell the doctor, like, yo, this kid he climbed the wall backwards, did the backflip off the ceiling. Doc. You know what I'm saying? Marty, Doc, 1985. So the doctor's like, I don't believe you. So he goes in there like, do what you just did that you said that they did. Do that again. And, it didn't happen. The kids are just like, what are you talking about? Because every time they have an episode like that, they don't remember anything. They just like, I don't know what's going on. And so, but the RN was just like, yo, if you don't believe the family, believe the fuck out of the employee that you've been working with. I'm an RN. I've been here at this hospital. I saw it. So social services is looking at the kids, and all of this stuff is going on. So cut to they end up taking the kids, because they feel like, whatever's going on could be caused from abuse, or, the mom is doing something. So she loses her kids for a little bit. And then, her and her mom are still reaching out to people. They trying to get an exorcism going, and the Catholic Church is, denying the exorcism. So there's a pastor named, I forget his name, a priest, if you will. And he got like one of the New Orleans sounding names. He comes and does like an not like an unsanctioned exorcism, but he does like an exorcism that he was cleared to do just on his own. So he did all that downstairs, you know what I'm saying? And stuff kind of subsided for a few days, and then, weird things started happening again. And so they get clearance to do the exorcism. And so LaToya had 3 exorcisms done on her. They did like 2 in English and then 1 in Latin. And then all of like the people involved, the social workers, the priests, the cops that showed up to the house, and they're there while all this stuff was going on. Weird stuff would happen to them outside and away from the house. Like one person involved was getting like cracked ribs while she was jet skiing, a broken finger, and while they're looking through the house, like they reported like liquids, coming down on the walls, and the texture was like slippery and sticky at the same time, but they couldn't identify what this liquid was. One of the ladies in there recalled her pinky finger tingling, and then it just started feeling like it was broken, and it turned white. Just getting feelings of unease. The police chief, his passenger car seat started malfunctioning and doing stuff on its own, and they were like, "Yo, man," found out that the motor was bad, but if that was the driver's seat, some wild shit could have happened. And just all kind of stuff going on away from the house, like these spirits were attaching themselves to the other people going in the house. So they experiencing this weird stuff. And so all that's going on. So they do the 3 exorcisms of LaToya. And anyway, she ends up moving out of that house and moving and finding a place in Indianapolis. So after the exorcisms, and they told one of the ladies involved, because they gave LaToya the task of finding and listing the names of the demons involved in that possession in that house. Like they were giving her the information, but every time she would get on the computer, she would either start feeling sick or the computer would shut down. And so she was finally able to push through and get the names of these demons. And what's his name? Beelzebub was one of the names of the demons. And, he's the one attached to the flies or whatever. And so between like the second and the third exorcism, they had another lady involved in this write the name of a demon down, put it in an envelope, surround it with salt, and when instructed, burn the envelope. So when LaToya was living in Indianapolis, she was still having these terrible nightmares with demons involved. And so they was like, burn the envelope. And so when they burned the envelope, she stopped having the nightmares. And so she didn't have any more, incidences of that type of stuff. Eventually, she got her family back. She got the kids back, and they didn't have any more, situations going like that. And they were in Indianapolis now. So in the story that I, listened to, they re-rented out that house, and a family moved in after them. And but in that video that I was listening to, the other family didn't have any experiences with the stuff going on. So eventually, Zach Baggins, who hosts Ghost Adventures, got wind of the story. He ended up buying that house, and he did like an episode of Ghost Adventures in that house. So if you look on YouTube and stuff, you can see them going through that house. They got like video of them in the basement. And if you're not familiar with Ghost Adventures, Zach Baggins, to me, I don't be believing him all the time. Like I feel like he be on the dramatic side. And I just be like, you playing this up for the cameras? Like he be making me squinty eyed a lot. And so, because I just feel like it's something about him that makes me feel like he's not being 100. And so I just be like, I don't know, man. I just be feeling like he acted. Yeah, you feel me as a kid. So I was like, so they were down there, and that priest that worked with the family, he was there with them. And there was like some artifacts buried in the basement that they were trying to retrieve. And they were talking to like these spirits, and they were hearing like, responses on the sound equipment. Like, what is your name? And like, Steve. And like, and they say a lot of times these spirits and these demons will say a regular sounding name to disguise who they really are. Like Steve or, Matt or whatever. And so I was looking at those clips too. And when they dug up those artifacts, because one of the kids said, I was murdered here. And then they heard like a noise upstairs. They were all in the basement. They heard a noise upstairs. Who was that upstairs? And they was like, me. And it was like, and so Zach ended up feeling uneasy. He got like an uneasy feeling, and he ended up putting those artifacts back in the ground, and he reburied them. I didn't finish the rest of that go through in the basement, but I read that since Zach bought the house, he had it demolished or whatever, so the house is no longer there. And I was just like, So now I'm wondering, like, and it's on Carolina Street or whatever. And so I was reading like some comments in the comment section of like, yeah, the cops don't even go down that street. And somebody also, I saw a YouTube short, somebody had pulled up to the house, I guess while it was still standing. And so yeah. So now I'm just like, now I kind of want to pull up to the scene. You know me, man. I got that investigative spirit. I don't want to say spirit right now, but I just want to, but this kind of story, I don't know if I feel comfortable pulling up to this, because if they're attaching, I can't do no attachments. I can't do no attachments, man. Hey, don't get too attached. I tell these demons, like I tell everybody, hey, don't get attached, man. I'm not ready, man. I'm not ready for the commitment. You know what I'm saying? So don't attach yourself to me, man. You're going to get your feelings hurt. You try to attach to me. Watch out, man. You don't want this. You don't want to do that. And so yeah. So I went down that rabbit hole, and I'll probably go down the rabbit hole a little bit further, but not only in the daytime. Because I live alone, man. I don't need the bullshit. So I do all my investigating on this in broad day. Full daylight, sun up, 102 degrees. That's when I'll be like, all right, let me look at the videos. Because at night, I don't want no parts of this. I don't want no parts of it, man. Listen. Nope. I gotta do my investigations in broad day, shorty. I don't know how Zach and them be up in that basement full night, all dark. I'm like, y'all can do this in the daytime? They be down there with the night vision on, and I'd be like, Zach, man, I'm all for the adventures. Can we do these in the daytime? Like, nah, man, we gotta go now. I'm like, man, you dramatic ass nigga, man. We could do this in broad day. Broad day. We get the same adventures Remember the Raiders of the Lost Ark when he was in that tomb temple thing and the ball was rolling? That was daytime. We can still have the adventures and be rolling around and running out. But when I run out, I want it to be daylight. When I come to the other side, when I escape from the bullshit we just ran from and unlocked, I want the sun to be out. Nah, man, we going at night because when you scared for your life and you run outside and it's dark, you still in the scary. You still in the scary. You can't, especially if you're in a dilapidated neighborhood, man. Hell no, man. I need that sunlight. I need that vitamin D when we escape. Please, man, don't do your boy like this. So if I was a member of the Ghost Adventures team, you would never see me in the nighttime adventures. They'd be like, Tony opted to stay back. And then they cut to the camera. You goddamn right I did. I'm over here at the studio. Every episode, they'd be like, Tony opted to stay back. You goddamn right. I'm over here at the studio. And then they cut back to them in the bullshittery at night with the night vision. Because once they set up all the storyline about the particular haunted house that they doing in that episode, and they setting it up and they getting the team together and they done talk to the real people, I'm all in on them. Oh, that's crazy. That happened here. That's wild. All right, let's go investigate. I'm like, yeah, man. And then they cut to them showing up at night. Tony opted to stay back. And then they cut to me. I turn around. You goddamn right I did. I'm over here at the studio. Cut back to them. And I'll be in every episode at the studio. Unless we can do this shit in the daytime. Daytime, I'll go in anything in the daytime. I will walk into any building in the daytime. I will walk in there. That's my white side. I'm walking in. I'm like, oh yeah. Well, let's go up in here, man. This where the murders took place? Let's do this, man. Oh, they was down there in the basement? Let's go. All in the daytime. But at night, I see y'all when y'all get back. If y'all get back. If y'all get back, I'll be right there. But nah, man. That would be my stipulations on any. If I ever hosted a show like that, which I wouldn't mind doing, it's got to be all daytime. Remember in the Lost Boys when they went to the vampire cave? The Frog Brothers and Corey Haim, they went to the vampire cave, and Michael and them, they was all asleep. That's the kind of adventures I'm talking about. That's when I'm going in, man. We in there. Oh, they sleep. Look, they sleep. That's when I strike. Like, yeah, man, put it through his heart, man. Just stake him. Stake him out. And then they escaped. I'm telling you, when that night came back around, though, they was coming in for the revenge because they did get one vampire in the daytime. They got Bill from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They caught him slipping. But man, my office hours, are from 9 to 5. Matter of fact, that's the name of my ghost show, Ghost Hunting 9 to 5. And that 9 to 5 gonna be goddamn flimsy in the wintertime. The wintertime, 9 to 3:30. We talking about October, November, December, January, 9 to 3:30. Ghost Adventures. Broad day. Ghost Adventures in broad day with Tony Baker. Like, yeah, man, broad day. All nighttime footage, I'm passing it off to the crazy members of my team. Hell no, man. Before sunset. That's me all day. Even though day or night might not even really matter when it comes to the spirits, they might be like, man, I don't give a damn. I'm still scared the shit out of you. I'm still attaching. Just give me the daylight just to make my soul feel a little bit better. Anyway, y'all, I done rambled on long enough, man. I'm gonna do a review for The Deliverance. I'll probably do like a spoiler review. I'm gonna do that in the other studio. I'm also do a review of The Crow that nobody went and saw but me apparently. So yeah, because we already an hour and 10 in. I'm gonna try to end this right at 1:11. I'm gonna try to end it right at 1:11. But I want to thank y'all. I want to thank the patron saints. All those questions and topics y'all send in, I want to save them for. Y'all want me to do the spoiler on verbal cardio, or do you want it on the traditional Tony Baker review setup? Y'all let me know. Because I could do the full spoiler. I got more time if I do it in here. Traditional? Okay. Here, traditional. Y'all just let me know. And I want to thank y'all for pulling up. Thank y'all for being here. It's an hour and 11 minutes right now, so I'm gonna end it right here. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio.